In the year 2100, research on humanity's lifespan has skyrocketed, and due to this, a fitness craze has started, as humanity started to become obsessed with their youth. That was also the time when the holographic game, God's Domain, came into existence. The game functioned by simulating the player's real-life movements, which was a revolutionary mechanic that allowed it to become the most played game in the entire world. As such, many workshops for the game have also started to appear, and the stock prices of the financial groups that are backing those workshops grew as well. The years went on, and in the year 2139, this advanced even further. The story begins at the Shadow Workshop, where the protagonist, Shi Feng, is fired. He is extremely hurt by this, as he has sacrificed tons of things for this game, and made the Shadow Workshop what it is today, with Lahua also becoming a world-class financial group thanks to him. However, even after all of that, they dare delete his account and fire him, solely because he is against them merging with other guilds? The man who threw the papers at him smiles, and explains that he will get 5 million credit points and a mansion, which should be enough for him to live a comfortable life from now on. Like what a great philosopher once said, one should be content with his lot. Without any other choice, Feng accepts their offer, but he is still extremely distraught, as he has built an entire empire. But now, it was taken away from him, solely because they thought he was a liability. He will not let it slide. Are they really considering him a beggar? He will show them who he is, even if he has to start from scratch. Suddenly he falls asleep, and a certain ringtone wakes him up. So he picks up, as his friend Hazy is calling him. He explains that the Shadow Workshop is recruiting at their school today, which makes Feng think that this is a prank, something which his friend used to do a lot. However, that is when Feng looks at his mirror and notices something that shocks him. He has become young once again, and when he looks at the time on the phone, he notices that it's the year 2129. He has gone back 10 years. With that revelation, he goes outside to meet with his friend and thinks that he would have never expected for the great heavens to give him a second chance. But now, he will have his revenge on Shadow and on anyone who dared to betray him. Hei arrives at their meeting spot and notes that they should go sign up already, as there's probably already tons of people there. Feng stops him though and asks, if he were to not want to join Shadow and plan on starting his own workshop, would he join? He thinks that in the following years, Hei's managerial abilities will start to show, so he will be great in helping grow a workshop. Originally, Hei joined Shadow in order to support his family financially, so if that is his objective, he is sure to change his mind. Hei says that it's expensive to start a workshop, as even without the employees and their salaries, they would still need 80,000. Feng tells him that he is correct, but signing a contract with Shadow is equal to selling their souls. He does not want to be controlled by the likes of them ever again. Hei agrees that having their own workshop would be nice, but even if they put all of their money together, they won't be able to afford a single set of equipment. Feng then pulls him closer and explains that he should not worry about equipment, as God's Domain gives university students like them discounts, so they will use that and try the game out in 10 days. Hei wonders what they will be able to do in 10 short days, but Feng feels that it is plenty. He will manage the money anyways, so all he needs to do is relax for now. After this, he goes to shop for necessities and eventually picks up his headset, which is basic from what he used to have, but for now, this is more than enough. He puts the headset on, equips his gloves, and logs in God's Domain for the first time in this life. He is logged in successfully and walks a set of stairs towards a structure, and a wave of nostalgia hits him as he has forgotten what the old login pages looked like. It was really simple. Suddenly, an angel appears out of nowhere and explains that she will help him navigate the menus. First though, he must pick a job, with 12 available. He has tons of choices, so he should make his choice now. Feng picks swordsman, as this is what he had before too, and the angel asks him to create a name and avatar. Feng thinks that it will be okay to use the same name, but he will alter his appearance, as he doesn't want others to recognize him. The final part of the setup is to choose a birthplace in the Star Moon Kingdom, and Feng selects the White River City, as it's the 5th largest in the kingdom, and it's a great location for avoiding guild fights also, allowing him to level up whilst also keeping a low profile. After he is done, the angel transports him to the game world, but not before wishing him good luck. A ray of light engulfs Feng, and he arrives in a place called Redleaf Town, apparently a place he has been to before. Here, it can be seen just how active the game is, with tons of players gathering and doing quests. Feng checks his stats and finds that he has 4 free attribute points, which is a given, as a player is given 4 points upon leveling up, thus allowing them to build however they want. However, most people choose simply. If their role deals physical damage, they will prioritize strength. He did the same in his past life too. However, this time, he knows that agility is the way to go early, as he can do jobs much quicker this way. Agility raises one's movement and attack speed, so it's great to start with this attribute, but players will not find this out for a long time. Suddenly, he gets a call from Black Cloud, which is Hei, who explains that he chose the Cursemancer class and transported to Moonfall Town. Feng urges him to come to Redleaf Town, where he is, as he will help him with leveling up. But Hei is hesitant, as it will take him 7 hours to reach, and everyone is already leveling up. Won't he be left out? Feng explains that it doesn't matter, as with their goal in mind, to get enough funds to start the workshop, leveling up frantically, like everyone else is doing, isn't ideal. He also asks if he knows what a unique quest is, and Hei's eyes light up as he hears those words, as those are epic quests, and are called unique only because there is one in the entire server. Once it's done, it's gone for good. The rewards are also plentiful, so it's worth the effort. Feng arrives in a rundown part of town where only beggars reside, who immediately try to steal from him, but once he pulls out his sword, they calm down. He explains to Hei that there is a unique quest in this town. Hearing this, does he still want to level up in Moonfall Town? Hei is still unconvinced by this, as it will take him a lot of time to get there, but he also asks, how does he know so much? Is he perhaps in contact with one of the beta testers? Feng doesn't answer his question, and tells him once again to get to Redleaf Town, as after he's done with the quest, he will help him level up, and he promises that he will be able to level up much faster than normal players ever could. After their call is done, he approaches a specific beggar and asks if he needs anything. The beggar naturally asks for food, as he has not eaten in days, but Feng cannot fulfill his request. So he asks, does he have any other requests? There are many things he would do, for the right price of course. It seems that these are the keywords that activate the quest, as the beggar asks him to kill the mayor of Redleaf Town, Cross. Suddenly, a system pop-up appears in front of Feng, where it presents him with a choice. Does he accept the unique quest? Feng naturally chooses yes, as this is what he came here for. Next up, he goes to the town hall and waits in line for the mayor's quest, as it is common etiquette to wait in line. Feng analyzes his stats, 2,400 GP and 1,500 mana. With his current level, he will not be able to defeat the mayor even if there were hundreds of him, as this guy is just too powerful. However, that does not stop Feng, as he throws the tomato he was eating straight into the mayor's face, which naturally angers him, and so he jumps Feng, who seems to have a trick up his sleeve. 15 minutes before this, when Feng first approached the town hall, he noticed just how far the queue line for the mayor's quest is. So now he feels kind of bad that he has to kill him. Feng continued to walk right next to the queue line, but that's when one of the players noticed him and told him to go back, if he doesn't want to become enemy number 1 to every player that is waiting. Fen smiles and thanks him for the advice, but he shouldn't worry, as he's not here for the mayor's mission. But he also shouldn't be here, as there are tons of other missions that are better than this one elsewhere. The player thinks otherwise, as there are tons of other players waiting, so it must be good. He should stop trying to fool others like this. But Feng promises it's not to fool him, as he will give him a hint too. He should go and hunt monsters in the wilds, as it's more beneficial for him, rather than waiting in a line. The player notes that the wilds are filled with players, so the competition for mobs is quite fierce. He would rather wait here than go through that pain. Feng explains that he should go to areas with fewer monsters if that is the case, as the monsters will spawn slower, and with nobody having any patience these days, not a soul will be there. So it's a free XP farm for him. The player is quite glad to hear this, and asks him to tell him about this spot too, if he knows where he is. For this information though, Feng asks for 20 copper coins, but the player refuses, as they all start with 10 copper coins anyway. Seeing that the player is hesitant, Feng offers him a deal. He gives him the 10 copper coins, and he will send him the location. However, if what he said is true, and he is able to easily level up, he will give him another 10 coins. He told him all of this because he saw greatness in him, but if he doesn't want to, he can just forget about it. The player reluctantly gives the coins, and after the transaction is done, Feng goes to buy 10 tomatoes with the money he earned. This catches the eyes of 2 female players who laugh at him, as they both think he is a fool. Why would anyone spend their starting money on that? After that, Feng went to the mayor and threw the tomato in his face, while also calling him tons of bad names, in hopes to anger him further. His tomato assault continued, which made the other players waiting for the quest quite scared, as they never expected to see such a maniac so early on. Naturally, after such a shameful display, the mayor regards Feng as an enemy, and in a split second, charges in, almost killing Feng, who is now quite low on HP. The other players watch in amazement, as he shouldn't have been able to survive that. But that's when the mayor's face slowly morphs, and he suddenly becomes a werewolf. He charges Feng once again, but before he can reach him, the town guards intervene, as werewolves are considered evil, so it's their job to protect the town. Feng was aiming for this, but he needed to do it with tomatoes because they deal no damage. As if he did damage to the mayor, the guards would have also attacked him. But now, since the mayor has turned into a dark creature, the guards are programmed to kill him. The players, seeing this as an opportunity, also charge in, and notes of attacks are unleashed on the mayor until he eventually dies. Unfortunately for the players, the mayor did not drop a single item, or he did, but Feng took it, and he's long gone. After Feng gives the beggar his request, he thanks him from the bottom of his heart and presents him with an item that he hopes will help him in his journeys. Additionally, Feng gains 2,000 XP, 20 free mastery points, and a luxurious accessory box. He is quite surprised by this, as he did not expect such a generous reward, and chooses to open the accessory box right now, which upon opening, lights up the entire alley. The item Feng has gained from this is the Ring of Gravity, that despite the stat boosts it gives, also gives a skill, Gravity Unbound, which makes the user's body as light as a feather. Feng is extremely glad that this item fell into his hands, and decides to continue dumbing points in the agility stat. With that, his abilities will be comparable to that of an assassin. He also gains a level up on his swordsmanship, which increases his damage dealt. With this over, Feng decides to go to the Goblin Challenge, in order to obtain a skill book. When he arrives, he notices a few guys trying their hardest to complete the challenge, but to no avail, as their leader fails again and again. He asks them for more money, but they have already given him everything. They are also calling him by a certain name, Heartstabber. Feng knows this name, as this guy will become one of the top 10 assassins in the Star Moon Kingdom, but he really did not expect him to be such a weak man, so early into his journey. Suddenly, he spots Feng, and asks him for 5 copper coins, as he will return it by tomorrow with interest. With their guild being so powerful, he can also offer him an invitation. Feng accepts the offer, however. He wants 50 copper in return, which angers Heartstabber's minions, as this is downright disrespectful to their great master. Feng asks if he still wants to do the deal, and Heartstabber agrees, which makes Feng happy, as it seems it's very easy to make money around these parts. The minions ask if they have to pay him back, but Heartstabber wants to, as he's the leader of a guild, and surely today he will be able to pass the goblin test. The minions agree, although with a heavy heart. While analyzing the goblin, they notice that Feng is also taking on the challenge, which makes them laugh, as he is just a newbie, and he will get destroyed by the ever-changing attack of the goblins. Even Heartstabber only managed to reach 20 yards before being shot down. Feng gets ready, and at the count of 3 the challenge starts, with him running as fast as he possibly can the moment it does so. The goblins begin their rain of bullets, but Feng swiftly dodges them and goes through bullets without a single one hitting him. One of the minions is amazed, as he's extremely fast and avoids attacks. He might actually be able to defeat their boss. Heartstabber notes that he might be an athlete or a martial artist. That is why he's more agile, and the other minion bashes the one who dared to insult their master. Heartstabber thinks that this guy is definitely not ordinary. In any way, however, the pattern of the goblin's attack will change at the 15-yard mark, so he will have to face death, like he did time and time again. Eventually, Feng reaches the 15-yard mark, and the goblins pull out some chain pistols and begin unleashing hell on Feng in the form of bullets, but he dodges them and thinks that this time, it's his turn to cheat. While he prepares to defend himself, the minions laugh at him as if he gets hit by a single bullet. It means that he failed. So even with his sword, he cannot defend himself against so many bullets. However, when the bullets reach Feng, he expertly hits all of them with his blade, which causes them to stop in place. This comes at the surprise of the minion and Hearthstabber, as Feng continues to cut his way through the bullets. The minion screams at his boss. "That guy is already at the 25-yard mark. He will soon finish." Hearthstabber tells him to shut up, as he's getting on his nerves. This game just came out, however, in front of him is a player that can predict the bullet trajectories. He's even blocking them with his blade. His control over the player character is amazing. Suddenly, he tells him to watch out, as he knows what's up next, the Gatling guns. The goblins unleash a flurry of bullets like never before, which makes Hearthstabber think that this challenge is impossible. However, Feng goes past his expectations and defends himself with all of his might. The final attack is a mighty explosion, and the spectators watch closely, and fortunately Feng makes it out, with him jumping to the finish line. The goblin holding the flag congratulates him, as his clear time was 14 seconds. Thus, he achieved the bronze ranking. While the group and goblins congratulate his achievement, the system awards him with 1 silver coin and a swordsman skill, Thundering Slash. This ability sends 3 forward slashes, and each slash deals 10% damage, with the other ones hitting for 20% each if they hit. Feng thinks that this is amazing, as the swordsman class is one that focuses on dealing damage to a single target, but this skill is one of the few that are AoE, which will allow him to do a lot of things from now on. Suddenly, he notices the group looking at him greedily, so he tells them to continue trying as he is leaving, but they should not forget that they still have 50 copper to give him. The minions think that this is the perfect opportunity to take his prize and book it. But Hearthstabber hits both of them, as they are supposed to be at his feet right now, not steal from him. Having achieved his objective of getting the talent book now, it is time for Feng to begin training in earnest. He arrives at the Red Leaf Forest, where players are making groups in order to hunt together, and thinks that he only has 30 copper left after buying 20 explosive berries. He really needs to kill some mobs and earn some money. He arrives at the mob spawning area and sees a well-balanced group with 2 warriors at the front, a long-range dealer and a healer to boot. However, their experience will be split between 4 members, but he can't lie. For early leveling, this is the safest way to hunt. The players group up like this because the death penalty in God's domain is quite large. Not only does one drop a level if they die, but they lose equipment too. One of the group members warns him to not come close, as this is their prey, but Feng was not planning to at all, as these are too low level for him to care about. He continues to wander around the Red Leaf Forest and comes up on some bears, but he thinks that again, they are too low level. And additionally, the bears can use a skill to call another group of bears to come, so it's quite dangerous. Eventually, he finds a wolf drinking some water and thinks that this is the perfect target for him, as one wolf is easy to deal with, and even with its agility, he is much faster. He continues to step back until he goes too far and the earth falls beneath him as he has reached the end of the hill. Feng manages to land beautifully somehow, but this blunder causes him to be at the front of a wolf den, who seems extremely hungry for his flesh. They start chasing after him, and Feng laments deciding to hunt that damn wolf. The wolves try to take a bite of him. However, he moves through them, and without much choice, he uses the gravity ring to increase his speed. Thus, he manages to get away. Due to his panic, he didn't see where he was running to, but it seems he has arrived at the central mountain range, which might be a good thing for him, as he heard that a silver chest is hidden at the peak of this mountain, which he will gladly take. Eventually, Feng arrives at the target location, and notes that normally, one couldn't get up here, and would need to use a skill like the hidden skill, Flying Steps, in order to get up there, which unlocks after players put 40 points in agility. However, for him it is quite easy, as he has his ring, which allows him to climb the mountain without much effort. When he arrives at the top of the mountain, a giant green hand emerges from the ground, but he has expected this. This beast is called the Rock Giant, and it's level 5. Feng prepared the berries specifically for this mob, as they impair the movement speed of the target by 30%, and turning speed is also reduced by 70%. Feng uses one of them after dodging an attack, which slows the already slow giant tremendously, allowing Feng to go behind him and strike twice. This is Feng's strategy, to use the berries on the giant and hit it freely, which will give him tons of proficiency XP. The giant tries to retaliate, but it is far too slow for such an agile swordsman, so it misses entirely. Feng continues to strike the giant again and again until he is done with it and slays it. Fortunately, the giant also drops a piece of gear, the gorgeous cloth shirt, which has pretty nice stats for now. Feng notices a few bats coming out of a cave, so he decides to go exploring in it, which makes him eventually find shrews, a level 6 elite mob. This might seem intimidating, but Feng still attacks, as a level 6 elite is still pretty doable. He decides to attack it before it wakes up, which only takes a sliver of his HP. Shrews wakes up angry and can speak, calling Feng a puny mortal who does not know his place. Feng manages to dodge upwards and prepares a berry, as even if this lump has tons of HP, it has no agility, and if he uses a berry, he will have an easy time. Just like with the giant, he manages to activate one before shrews can do anything, and this allows him to unleash a flurry of attacks, which deal little damage, but they do damage nonetheless. However, the elite heals back all the damage he took. As the elites do this, they heal 2% of their total health every 5 seconds. Feng thinks that his attacks cannot keep up with this guy's mighty regeneration, so he must use Thundering Flash as efficiently as possible in order to deal some damage. His idea seems to be working, as the elite receives more damage than he can heal, but suddenly, it sends Feng flying back using a barrier and smashes the ground beneath them in pieces, which makes Feng think that this is its party wipe technique. He is a solo player, however, and manages to dodge the large attack pretty easily, but that's when he notices that the elite has entered a fatigued state, which is what bosses go through once they unleash their ultimate attacks. During this period, their defense, regeneration, and attack drop drastically. Feng thinks that it's now or never, so he charges in swiftly and stabs the giant's eye with his sword. Shrews tries to defend himself, but Feng moves ever so swiftly and drops down, allowing him to cut up the giant's leg with ease. Unfortunately, the fatigue state ends, and the gigantic elite moves behind Feng using a teleportation technique, which allows it to hit Feng with all of its might. This sends Feng flying, but he survives in just 2 HP. Instead of lamenting, he smiles, as this is the final chance he has at defeating this thing. He charges in using Thundering Slash and follows it up with a mighty slash. Finally, he throws the sword in Shrew's core, which destroys him utterly. The elite starts dropping his loot, and among it is a skill, Parry, which does what it says. Feng decides to learn it now, as it might save his skin one day, and leaves out of the cave fully equipped, thinking that now is the perfect time to really scale the mountain. When he arrives at the top of the mountain, he spots a small town, but also very dense fog that shouldn't be here in the first place. Suddenly, the system announces that he has discovered the Lost Lands and activates a hidden quest, Past Glory. Feng tries to remember something about this, but he only remembers that there was a mithril chest around here, nothing about a hidden quest. The quest prompt doesn't give him a clear objective, and so he remembers that this is a special mission that will only be triggered in a specific area, and it will be sealed permanently once it's done. Feng remembers because some forum users kept bragging about it constantly, but he never expected that he would bump into one. However, since he's already here, he might as well give it a try. Push comes to shove, he will just die and return to the city. He enters a few homes and begins exploring, but he finds nothing of value to the quest, which angers him, as this is taking way too much of his time. He thinks that it's better to look from above, and so he climbs a house, just in time for the smoke to clear, allowing him to spot the Mage's Tower, his next destination. When he arrives, Feng thinks that surely this is where the quest wants him to go. And sure enough, after he enters, an elderly mage welcomes him to the City of the Sky. Feng is shocked when he hears this name, as it is renowned in God's domain, but this place should have disappeared long ago. Why would it be here? The mage notes that he must have come here to become stronger, and if that's the case, he can help him. Does he accept the test? Feng accepts, and the mage tries to tell him about the difficulties. But Feng chooses the hardest one instantly, as he has already been reborn once. He cannot afford to lose any chance he receives. The mage admires his courage and wishes him good luck on the quest. With that, the quest updates. He must face up against 1,000 monsters of the same level and kill a minimum of 500 to pass. The limit is 4 hours. Outside of the Mage Tower, countless undead warriors appear and rush to attack Feng, it seems that this will not be an easy quest. Feng looks at the incoming horde and thinks that the best way to do this is not charge in like a madman, but lead these guys in a narrow space where he can face them one by one. He enters the tower and jumps down on the stairs, providing him the best stage to clear these guys out with ease. Just like he expected, the monsters can only come 2 at a time at most, so he begins slashing and slashing. Feng thinks that if he continues doing it this way, this quest will be a piece of cake. At the 400 slay mark though, a bunch of Spectre assassins appear, which ignore the staircase completely and jump towards him using the nearby walls, providing them ample opportunity for a surprise attack. Feng notices them, however, and kicks the 2 that were attacking him away just in time, while also knocking a basic soldier down too. He turns his attention to the remaining soldier and thrusts his sword in his head, but that's when a sneaky assassin lunges at his back and manages to hit him, taking a quarter of his HP. Feng kicks this assassin away too, but finds it extremely annoying that they keep attacking from behind, and when he looks down, he notices that there are even more. This is not good, as these monsters have a lot of agility, even for him. But fortunately, he has 80 monsters left to kill, and they are very weak in terms of HP, so he will manage. The assassins jump him yet again, but this time Feng is prepared and slashes them before they can even land. Seeing that the job is not done, he jumps in himself and continues to cut them up until he is sure that there is nothing left of them. When he is done, he falls down with the assassins, but he is very tired. The Elder Mage appears and congratulates him for his fortitude, granting him a chest and a title, 1,000 to 1, which gives his allies a 10% stat boost, while he receives 5 strength and endurance. With that, the mage just ups and disappears, as his job is done, much to Feng's dismay, who wanted to ask more questions about a lot of things. Because the quest was done, Feng is just teleported back to the town, and takes a mighty fall, because the teleporter was positioned in the sky for some odd reason. Feng did not want this, as now there's a risk of other players snatching his hard-earned golden chest, so he goes to a nearby alley and opens it, with the contents being quite a surprise for him. What he gained from the chest is the Abyssal Blade, a magical weapon. A magic weapon is something that can improve the user's strength by quite a lot, but it also comes with a great risk, as if the user is not careful, they might cripple their player character forever. Since Feng prefers the stability he has now, he chooses to store the weapon, but he also got 2 other items from the chest, the Records of Potions, and the Book of Foraging. With them, training these 2 skills will become extremely easy. Now, Feng chooses to go to the Dark Moon Valley, as he knows about a quest there that will allow the user to learn foraging for free. And with the book, leveling it up will become very convenient. Since he has a lot of equipment he does not use anymore, he chooses to sell it, as he is sure to attract some customers with these bronze tier items. He starts offering his wares to everyone, and some guys are amazed, as this is not easy equipment to get, since most of them are still running around with their beginner equipment. Naturally, there are some haters too, that note that there was a guy who killed the mayor when the server just launched. Unbeknownst to them, he is the one and only. But that doesn't matter, as others come around and say that thanks to that bastard, they can't take the quest. Through all of that noise, Hay calls him, and is very glad that he picked up, as he tried to contact him previously, but he didn't have any signal. Anyways, he is 1 level below everyone else, so they need to do something now. Feng apologizes, as he has been just grinding quests, but he should come to the central square, as they can level him up later. Suddenly, Flaming Tiger, the leader of the Shadow in Redleaf Town, tells everyone to get out of the way, because as of now, they possess everything this stall has, so the sale has ended. He asks Feng if he's the owner, which he confirms, but he also remembers this guy, as in his previous life, this Flaming Tiger character used him as a chess piece time and time again before throwing him away. But now, he will pay him for that awful treatment. Suddenly, Flaming Tiger puts his axe at Feng's neck and notes that they will take everything in the stand for a single silver coin. Sounds like a good deal, right? Feng tells him that he does not allow bargaining at this stall, so if he wants to roleplay as a young master of a noble house, he can do it somewhere else. Naturally, this infuriates Flaming Tiger, and his men circle around him, ready to attack at any second. Feng thinks that he's still the same, stupid and heartless. Additionally, it seems that he does not know that they cannot fight while in town, so all of this show is literally for nothing. Just as Flaming Tiger is about to strike Feng fruitlessly, Heartstabber arrives, and tells Flaming Tiger that he shouldn't leave the Assassin's Alliance out of such a deal. Isn't that right? He greets Feng warmly and explains that he will give 24 silver for everything he has. Isn't that a better deal? Feng likes his straightforward attitude, so he accepts the deal, tells him to stop worrying about that 50 copper, and also adds him as a friend. Suddenly, Hei arrives, and so Feng leaves, much to Heartstabber's dismay, who really wanted to talk with him more. Hei asks what they're going to do now, and Feng notes that they will just farm monsters at the Dark Moon Valley, which surprises Hei, as that place is home to level 4 monsters which are extremely dangerous. Feng tells him not to worry, as he has a plan, and one of Flaming Tiger's subordinates asks if he's really going to let him go like that. He tells this subordinate, Quiet Wolf, to keep a really close eye on that kid, as he will not allow this kind of disrespect, and will definitely make him regret not selling to them. While they walk to the Dark Moon Valley, Hei asks if they are really going there, as that territory is filled to the brim with level 4 monsters, and most players dare not hunt monsters who are even 1 level higher than them. So how are they going to defeat the beasts, when they are level 2 and level 0 respectively? Feng tells him to not worry, as like he said, he knows an expert from the beta test, so he knows a few tips and tricks to keep them alive for longer. Hei asks if he really is a trustworthy source, but Feng asks him, since the public server launched, how many level 2 players does he think are in the entire server? The majority of the elites in the workshops are still level 1, and he only managed to get to level 2 with the information provided by the generous beta tester. Hei, after hearing this, gains newfound confidence, but unfortunately, Quiet Wolf is after them, who is also quite puzzled as to why they are going to a level 4 zone, but it does not matter, as he is sure this will be a deadly trip. After a while, Hei spots a cunning snow fox, a level 2 monster, and Feng thinks that this is lucky, as blue name monsters are elites, so they are very valuable. While he charges in, he tells Hei to damage the beast from range, and leave the tanking to him. Feng moves slowly, and surprises the beast with a swift attack, but he only dealt 32 damage, which Feng did not expect at all. The fox, after regaining its footing, jumps back at Feng, who manages to block its attack with his sword, but after he lets go, he has dealt 49 damage. Hei does not know what to do, but Feng screams at him to get his act together and attack the thing with all that he's got. Hei does just that, but he only deals 5 to the fox, which he is scared of, as he has dumped every stat point into intelligence. Feng encourages him to not be scared, as he will keep the aggro on him. All he needs to do is continue attacking the thing. Hei does just that, but the beast manages to land another blow on Feng, who is now very low HP. This comes at the gladness of Quiet Wolf, who thinks that he won't have to do anything. The fox jumps into attack once again, and keeps biting Feng's sword again and again, which starts deteriorating fast, and it will soon be destroyed. In a last-ditch effort, Feng hits the fox in the gut and throws it away. He did not want to do this, but it seems that he will have to start using his abilities from now on. He dodges the fox's next attack, and drinks an iron beer, which decreases the level of the enemy in front of him by 2, which will certainly give him the opportunity to end this. With this advantage, he starts striking the fox again and again, much to Hei's surprise. But Feng feels that it's not enough, and prepares a large strike to finish the fight. But suddenly, an invisible force rushes to him, and Feng barely manages to dodge the incoming blade. Quiet Wolf appears, and notes that he's pretty observative, to dodge an invisible attack like that. Feng is surprised, but not shocked, as he knew that Flaming Tiger only kept around awful company, such as this coward. Suddenly, the monster uses gigantification, and its attack, speed, and health are all increased by 20%. This puts Feng in an awful situation, and Hei screams at him to watch out, as the assassin dude is trying to pin him down with the help of the fox. Seeing this, Feng uses his brain and kicks the fox that is charging at him directly in Quiet Wolf's direction, which surprises the both of them and takes out the assassins, as he cannot hope to dodge such a fast attack. With that, the only opponent they have remaining is the fox, which they attack in unison, allowing them to eventually take it down, which awards them with 10 EXP each.